You, Catherine G, for co-hosting, otherwise known as Mission Dharma. I am happy to see you and would be happy to see your face temporarily if you're willing to put on the camera and let yourself be seen and offer your support to each other by both your video, and feel free with your audio to unmute and say good evening to each other.
Buddy.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
everyone.
Oh, hello. Hi from Victoria.
Hey, Victoria. Feel free to say where you're calling in from.
San Francisco.
Great.
Mill Valley.
Yay.
Regina.
All right, Regina.
Regina. Regina.
Regina.
Regina is taking over
Regina.
Mission Dharma.
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg, great.
Jackson
British
Hole.
Columbia.
Jackson Hole. Hey, Dan.
Rosa.
Hi.
Salinas.
Okay.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, last but not least.
Oh,
Anyway, so happy to see all of you and hear you, and I'm really thrilled to be sitting with you tonight. And I'm ready for some practice, ready to stop elaborating on my experience, thinking about it, planning, remembering, proliferating, becoming. I'm ready to just drop all of that and enter into what in Pali is called tata, or suchness, things just the way they are, the way they have come to be. So for this time, you can drop all the figuring out, all the fixing, problem solving, and just let go. Let yourself be as is. And maybe more important than anything, more important than solving any problem, is to just know what you're experiencing right now. Know the way it is. If you can know the way it is, then you've already reached the mountaintop. Both the beginning of practice, the path of practice, the fruit of our practice is to know the way it is, things as they are. So what are you aware of now? We just start there. We don't give rise to any extra. We become, as the Buddha was described, the Tathagata, the one who knows the way things are. Your version of it. And what can support you to stay in the vicinity of the way things are, stay here, welcoming the way things are in whatever form they take. What's really helpful, if you have your attention anchored in your body, which is here and calls you here. So feel the sitting body. Let your eyes close softly and experience the body not as an idea, but as a felt sense. A sense of aliveness, vibration, pulsing. Just an elemental experience, just nature. Things as they are. There's no you here, no identities, just the way it is. No Buddhas, just the way it is. Feeling the sitting body. And notice how when the attention, the looking without judging, noticing without judging is here. The body stills, the mind settles. And as the mind and body settle and still, what becomes most obvious or more obvious, and that keeps supporting in the process of emptying of all of our considerations, all of our meaning making and I making and me making, what supports just the emptying of all that is just to notice the emptying that occurs as we feel the duration of each in-breath, the emptying that occurs as we feel the sensations of each out-breath. With each in-breath we empty, with each out-breath we empty. Empty of our usual preoccupations, empty of time. Just hear things as they are. Not an idea, but a direct experience. Just this breath, just this moment, just this sitting body. We make the gentle effort, the gentle prompting of our attention to stay here, to feel our body, to feel our breath, knowing that it is this gentle effort that leads naturally to effortlessness, to just being with things as they are. We start with being with the breath as it is, some short, some long, some rough, some smooth, some deep, some shallow, making no effort to alter our experience in any way. The breath is like this right now. Sitting body is like this. Just noticing, not judging, not evaluating. Just this moment. When sounds come, just noticing, not evaluating, just hearing. When moods come, just feeling, noticing, just noticing, not judging, not evaluating. When thoughts come, just thoughts. Thinking is like this. Let them come and go like clouds blowing through a windy sky. They have no more reality than that. Everything is changing. Just let go into this stream of change, things just as they are. Inevitably, at some point, you'll realize that you've been lost in thought, absorbed into fantasy, plan, memory. And then you become aware of this. That moment of becoming aware of having drifted into fantasy is a moment of mindfulness, a moment of knowing this is how it is. We just receive that moment, we recognize it. We don't make anything more about it other than maybe appreciating that there's now mindfulness. Make no judgment or valuation, we just know. And in support of remaining anchored to things as they are, we feel our bodies again, connect with our breath, and make nothing more about it. This is how it is. Mind wanders. We reconnect. Just this moment. Just this in-breath, just this out-breath, or whatever is predominant. This is suchness, just the way it is. If there's just breath and body right now, this is how it is. If there's agitation, discomfort, this is how it is. We recognize and receive it. If a mood is arising, this is how it is. If thoughts are in the mind, this is how it is. Things as they are. If there's greed in the mind or grasping, wanting something to be different, this is how it is right now. If there's resistance, we feel that this is how it is. Just this moment, things just the way they are. Just resting in that reflective knowing, this is the way it is right now. Letting your body be received with that acceptance, that recognition, that non-judgmentalness. Let your mind be received in this non-contentious, non-judgmental awareness. Just knowing this is the way it is right now. And when you hear the sound of the gong, well, this is the way it is. You feel the impulse to open your eyes. Notice this is what opening the eyes is like. This is what seeing is like. This is what making other movements is like. This is the way it is. It's always a pleasure to sit with all of you, almost like in person, but and I am aware of this each time, aware of this strange form, but feel the blessings of being able to be here and meet any way we can and remind each other of the way things are. And moment by moment, letting go of how we wish they were, hope they can be, remembering how they were. Just this is the way it is. And the way it is the way of non-suffering. This is a path of non-suffering. So perhaps you feel a little bit of the fragrance of letting go of our usual reactivity and preoccupations, or maybe you noticed your preoccupations, noticed your reactivity. That's the way it is. Everything, if we stay here, is equal in that way. Everything's welcome. Even what we call the defilements, the kilesas. By opening to what we're experiencing, we turn the difficulties into the path of seeing things the way they are. This is the way it is. Really, I could stop now, but because there really is no higher mountain to climb than knowing this is how it is right now. Just try that on for a moment, that there's nothing else to get. Just let go of getting, let go of becoming, let go of proliferating, figuring out. Come into contact with the way it is. This is actually not, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. Because I think, I didn't mean to launch right into talking, but maybe I'll run out of gas after a moment and we'll take questions. But while it's still on my mind, like I said, things the way they are, just opening to that is simple, but it's not easy, because from the beginning, and I see this especially with I see it especially with young people now, and I see it with everyone. We all have our own version of not being able to accommodate so easily the way things are. And so the mind is in a very strong habit of seeking, innocently seeking relief. We all want relief. And I say that I remember the words of Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, where he says, all that you need is already within you. You must regard yourself with reverence and love. He says self-hatred, self-distrust, which drives a lot of our actions. Self-hatred and self-distrust are grievous errors. And this is the part that's relevant to what I'm talking about right now. He says your flight from pain and your search for pleasure is a sign of love you bear for yourself. It's a sign of love. It's our attempt to love ourselves. It says it doesn't work. It says instead, make love of yourself perfect, just as you are. Give yourself to infinity. Step out of all this becoming, all this going, and realize that you're beyond, that you're not even a Buddha is not even the Buddha is not even a Buddha. The Buddha's we're not anything. We're just things as they are, just as we are. If we could just step out of that, stay here long enough, step out of time, stay what we call now. All of our notions, all of our ideas of self just melt into the way things are. Not somebody knowing the way things are, not a Buddha with insight knowledge. I'm just with the way things are. Empty of all these ideas. It's just how it is. And I see that it's hard to just stay here because we're so conditioned to go out and search. That's why it's such a heroic thing to even sit for 45 minutes and not go. And then those who don't just sit 45 minutes, but maybe sit a whole day or a whole half day. I've scheduled another half day, by the way, for the 26th of this month, called Cultivating Inner Silence. So that's not this coming weekend, the following weekend. But just consider those who stay for a little longer here and just nurture that sense of just things as they are. Of course, it doesn't depend on it can be informally or formally, anywhere you are, whatever you're doing, just this is how it is right now. If you just made this your mantra, this is the way it is. That's basically the definition of suchness, tata, suchness, the way it is. The Buddha, again, as I mentioned in the instructions, some of you weren't there. Buddha was called Tathagata, the one who knows the way it is, the one who knows suchness. We have to be able to brush the dust of memory, to not be so bound up in all of our views and opinions and likes and dislikes and theories, but just the way it is. That's where freedom is. And people who step into time, step out of what we call now, step into the world of dukkha. The dukkha of me, the dukkha of mine, the dukkha of I've got to do this and I'm going to do that and I did it this way and I'm hoping I do it that way. Just the morass of trying to figure out our life. That is, that unfortunately hasn't made anyone, hasn't brought anyone closer to the way things are. That's why it's so helpful to stop. So I was thinking about us stopping for 45 minutes or for the evening of remembering of things the way they are. And then I thought about a couple people, thought about young people and how hard it is for them to just be with the things, the way things are. They've really been tormented by the young people. They're not used to having their world turned upside down as a collective, like we've all been in the pandemic. And they often don't have the tools to be able to just feel the dukkha of that, the difficulty, just to open to it. Oh, this is the way it is. This is dukkha. Dukkha is the word for suffering, dissatisfaction, things hard to bear, feeling unreliable, insubstantial, all different forms of dukkha, stress. Young people are not used to having such a huge dose of it. So don't know how to just be with it the way it is. They're taught to go on social media and distract. And so are adults. But yogis know how to be with the things the way they are. And I was thinking especially tonight about a couple, 3 people or so in this Sangha, people I think who are here tonight, who are about to embark on a month-long retreat. And the month-long retreat, and I got inspired to talk about this tonight because I was reading a passage from Ajahn Sumedho that was about his own experience when he was a young monk. I'll read it to you in a few moments. But in a month-long, you don't have the same, the exit doors are basically closed. You don't have the same conditions where you can just distract yourself. Hopefully one is willing, but you have the incredible opportunity to turn toward what's difficult to bear. What's difficult? Because if you're born, definition of birth, leading cause of things that are hard to bear. It's life. Things that are hard to be with. But in the conditions of a retreat, you can't just pick up your phone, turn on the TV, go to the refrigerator, you have to turn toward the way it is, or you're invited to turn toward the way it is. And there is an amazing opportunity in that. I think this is a good time to bring in, if I can find it. Oh, it's under here. Now, hopefully, you can apply this to your life, even though this is describing somebody who has entered into the monastic life, and maybe you'll be inspired to do some kind of monastic or long-term practice. But I think this is relevant to any of us at any time in our life, because anytime, anywhere, we can wake up. Anytime, anywhere, we can have peace. We can have non-reactiveness. We can have freedom if we know the way it is. From Ajahn Sumedho. In the first year when I was a samanera, a novice monk, I lived alone in a little hut for a year. And the first few months were just nothing but seemingly unmitigated suffering. I was alone, nobody to talk to, nothing to do, no television, no radio, couldn't go anywhere. You're supposed to stay in these little huts, and you can go out and walk in this slow method outside. At first, I rather liked it, getting out of the rat race in Bangkok. I was teaching English in Bangkok, and so I was quite happy to get rid of all that. The first few days were fine. But then day after day, nothing to do, just me and my suffering. Sorry, I'm smiling, but I've done a lot of this in my life, and I've spent cumulatively about 3 years in silence doing, periods of 3 months at a time, and and it's not all like this description, but I'll get to the point. Day by day, nothing to do, just me and my suffering. I found out that because I had spent so much of my life in family where anger was never allowed to be shown, over 30 years of suppressing anger, suddenly I felt this almost continuous rage for about 2 or 3 months. Where did that come from? Nobody was making me angry there. It wasn't the situation, so I couldn't blame it on the place or the people or anything. I had some kind of intuitive sense to stay with it. And at first, I tried to do a lot of intentional practice, really concentrating the mind in order to suppress the anger. But to do that for 3 months was impossible because I didn't have the strong enough will. So I gave up trying to control it and just noticed it. And then through that, I began to understand. Then one morning, I woke up and it was all gone. There was no anger, and I was in a state of bliss. Everything was beautiful and luminous, and there was no anger. Even trying to bring it back, I couldn't. Nothing seemed to be, nothing would catch hold, nothing would grab me. So that happened just through the patience and willingness to experience the suffering. I could have left any time. I wasn't chained to the wall or held there as a prisoner, as a hostage with a gun to my head. I think that's enough. So these moments of just opening to our experience, things as they are, if you stay with it, we increasingly realize that whatever we experience is a changing condition. It's a weather front, it's conditioned, but it doesn't define us, it's not permanent. It's marked by impermanence, suffering, and selflessness. It just happens. So it may seem so simplistic to just stay with your experience. But it's through that directness, that simplicity, that not going, that not running, that freedom emerges, that we experience the cessation of those things that we would typically run from, and whatever we run from pursues us. Whatever we turn toward frees us. That reminds me of a poem from Jennifer Wellwood called Unconditional. Willing to experience aloneness, I discover connection everywhere. Turning to face my fear, I meet the warrior who lives within. Opening to my loss, I gain the embrace of the universe. Surrendering into emptiness, I find fullness without end. Each condition I flee from pursues me. Each condition I welcome transforms me and becomes itself transformed into its radiant, jewel-like nature. I bow to the one who has made it so, who has crafted this master game. To play it is purest delight. To honor its form, true devotion. So Rumi put it this way: we are the mirror as well as the face in it. We are pain and what cures pain. We are the sweet cold water as well as the jar that pours. We are tasting the taste of eternity in each moment. So turning toward whatever it is. I was partly inspired just in thinking of the people I know who are about to embark on a longer practice period. Because the practice periods allow us, as the practice inspires us to do it, in some ways the point of it is to realize, at least to use the teachings in this regard, to realize the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths, for those of you who are not familiar with you could say it's one of the central teachings of the Buddha. I call it a heart teaching because when I heard it, my heart opened. I cried so happy somebody was saying it. Excuse me. But it basically, the Four Noble Truths, we have four truths and three parts of four truths. Each truth has three parts. There's a part that we study and learn about and reflect on. There's a second part of each truth. There's a practice, something to do, something to realize, and then the third part is there's a reflection that you've seen something, you've understood it, you have that experience of freedom. So the first truth is the truth of dukkha, which I've just talked about, that if you're born, definition of birth, leading cause of all kinds of things that are hard to be with. This is that everybody's life, no matter who you are, moment by moment, we can usually find in the presence of our life something that is hard to be with, something that's stressful. And that's not weird. That's not wrong. It's not an aberration, and it's not personal. It's universal. So that's the teaching. That's the teaching part, the first part of the first truth. The second part is the practice part. The way the Buddha put it, this must be understood. So the practice is to understand or welcome or accept, not just theoretically, but experientially, like Ajahn Sumedho did on that month-long retreat, or on that 1-year retreat. The second part is, this is dukkha, and experiencing it. And then the third part of the first truth, there's dukkha, this must be understood. There is the realization, this has been understood. So that's the realization part. The second truth, there is a cause of dukkha. There is a cause of dukkha. There's that in our mind stream that perpetuates dukkha, and that is this, and that truth of the cause of dukkha is that wanting things to be different than the way they are, craving for more, being resistant to the way things are, getting caught up in identifying with making it all about me, which is really craving for identity, craving for becoming. That different forms of craving, of wanting things to be other than the way they are, causes the essential dukkha to turn into mental suffering. So there's a basic level of dukkha that is just everyone has, but there's an optional part of dukkha. There's an optional part of suffering that is caused by craving and clinging in our mind, by attachment to the way we want things to be, attachment to our theories, attachment to our desires, attachment to our outrage and our anger. And so that's the teaching part. That's the study part. Second part of the second noble truth, this must be, what's the practice part? This must be abandoned. This must be let go. Stop grabbing. Let go. Open to the way things are. This is the way it is right now. That's a moment of letting go. And the third part, the realization is, oh, this has been abandoned. This has been let go. So just think, you could see somewhere, even in the course of this practice tonight, where your mind was just caught in a replay of an event of wanting something to be different. And you noticed, oh, the mind is in a state of grasping. And in the noticing, there was because the noticing can't coexist with grasping, in the noticing, there was a letting go. And whatever that feeling of being fixated, caught, absorbed, ruminating, caught in whatever it is, it released. And you could then say, oh, this has been released. In the old days, I used to tell a story about driving here in Marin County, where I've lived after I moved from the city. I moved over to Marin. And I used to react a lot to even though it was really my shadow of being so fortunate, I reacted to all the wealth and what seemed like a kind of shroud of privilege, and I reacted to it, and it seemed to be a quality of entitlement. And so this was, of course, my judgment. It was my suffering. People were just being the way they were. But I noticed that when I would see drivers that drove a certain way, I would become really reactive. And I remember just driving along the road and seeing somebody who wasn't really being sensitive to the flow of traffic and just taking their sweet time. And my mind went into this kind of reaction to who I thought they were and how they should be driving and how they should be dressing and what kind of car they should be driving, the whole thing. And my mind just did a major, what we call a vipassana vendetta, when you actually see your mind start to proliferate. And I felt the suffering of it in my own mind and body. And in the noticing of it, I saw this is dukkha. And in being able to be with that experience, it released. It just could not coexist. It could not withstand the light of attention. There's no, oh, this is the way my mind is right now. It started to release. And then there was a great sense of ease that came. And then I could say to myself, oh, this has been released. So that leads to the third truth, 3 parts, that there is an end to dukkha. There is an end to that stressful mind that wants things to be other than the way they are, that's reacting to reality, that's fighting with reality, which we can never win. That there's an end to it. And the practice is to realize it, is to experience the cessation, the fading away of that reactive mind, just as Ajahn Sumedho described in that story. And the third part is, one can say, the third part is, this has been realized. Realized. This is done as what has needed to be done. And then just quickly, since I don't want to dwell too much on this, the fourth truth is that the teaching is that there is a path of non-suffering. So it's not just about becoming the great knower of dukkha. The Buddha was called the happy one, the one who experienced tathata, the way things are, and experienced the cessation of suffering, of mental torment. So there is a path, otherwise known as the Noble Eightfold Path. And obviously the practice is to cultivate that path, the path of purification, the purification of action, the purification of mind, the purification of view, so that we develop wise understanding, wise thought, wise action, wise livelihood, wise concentration, wise mindfulness, so that we train ourselves in the way things are, moment by moment, using every element of our life, creating this path within our very existence. Hopefully, from time to time, doing, or maybe a life commitment to do, an intensification of opening to the way things are. But even if you are a householder, even if you remain a householder, it's to put your heart into opening moment by moment to the way things are. Not complicating our lives with that sense of contentiousness with reality. So at the third part, we've got the teaching of the Eightfold Path. We've got the practice of cultivating it. And at the end, we have the realization, oh, this path has been cultivated, done as what needed to be done. This is the end of dukkha. And may this be realized for all of us. But the beauty of it, whether you're going off for a month-long retreat or in your daily life, is it starts with this moment. What am I experiencing right now? What's it? What is the way it is right now? And can I meet that without any elaboration, without any proliferation? It sounds simple, but then you may have this intense dream tonight. Or you may have these strange bodily experiences that come during your meditation practice. The tendency will be for your mind to think about it, want to figure it out. And we love ourselves, so we love to work things over. We love meaning making. Love to find meaning in what's going on. But our practice at its heart is to know this is how it is. We really want to get to the heart of non-suffering, the path of non-suffering. It's just the way it is right now. Can we live that simply? And can we, instead of being lost in the mind that's problem solving and figuring out, can we notice that's what our mind is doing right now? Open to that. Oh, this is the way it is. My mind is really proliferating today. My mind is really complicating things. My body is really tight. It's heavy. It's scared. This is the way it is. So as Patrul Rinpoche says, don't prolong the past. It's one of the ways that we go out. Don't invite the future. Don't alter your innate wakefulness. Just being aware of the way it is. Don't fear appearances. Apart from that, there's not a damn thing. So the last thing I want to say, since I still have a couple minutes, when we look very carefully at the way things are, we look at our mind, we look at our body, we look at moods, we look at thoughts, look at the world that we live in. We see that if we do see with unvarnished eyes, we see that it is changing It is unreliable. It is empty of any inherent meaning. Every moment is just the way it is. This is an understanding of emptiness. Everything is empty, insubstantial, unreliable. But what gives, what is the true bridge, what allows us to actually thrive in this world of change and unreliability. The real bridge to wholeness is the face of the emptiness of things, and that's the face of the emptiness of things, and that's compassion. That's turning toward our heart toward the dukkha that we experience. So all that dukkha, it's not about just becoming the great yogi that can experience dukkha and being free of grasping. It is the doorway, all the dukkha that you open to, all the moments that you would usually run from that you open to. This is what turns the heart toward compassion. I'll guarantee you that Ajahn Sumedho, after he sat with the suffering of the anger of his family, that was the bridge that probably allowed him to see anger coming in the yogis, to understand the way it was brought about by causes and conditions from their lives. That it's an appreciation of the difficulties of staying here that tenderizes our hearts, that leads to humility, that leads to a sense of non-separateness. So that's really the heart of the meaning that emerges inherently in seeing through the illusion of substance in things. What emerges is compassion. And anybody that just has this mind of non-clinging without compassion is what the Tibetans called somebody with one-legged emptiness. Emptiness without compassion. And that's a partial understanding. So a big part of why dukkha, that first noble truth, why we understand, why we let go, why we realize, why it's centered around the understanding of dukkha is because it's a doorway to compassion. So in the meantime, it's helpful if we can be very compassionate with whatever measure of suffering that we have in our lives. And if young people could be more tender with themselves, tender with each other, if each of us could be more tender with themselves and tender with others, then we fulfill the two wings of awakening: wisdom that says we're nothing, and love that says that we're everything. Whereas Kala Rinpoche says you live in illusion in the appearance of things. There is a reality. You are that reality. When you understand this, you'll see that you're nothing. And being nothing, you're everything. That's all. So may we all realize the unity of wisdom and compassion. May we all come to know that this is the way it is. That's our doorway. So no time for questions tonight. I think Catherine left a little note. You have any other announcements, Catherine?
Oh, just
Wanna
to point out that the half-day retreat is Saturday, February 26th, as Howie mentioned, 9 to 1. Registration link is there in the chat or on Mission Dharma's website. and it would be lovely for people to come.
Great.
And, you all know about Donna giving, supporting Mission Dharma, and the ways to do that are also in the chat. So thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. And sorry for not doing a Q&A tonight, but we'll take it up again next week. And thank you for your presence, your staying with it this evening. And let's just consider, as we often do, that there may have been some goodness that's come from our being together, some blessings, some fruits, some merit, some benefits to our practice. And we just consider that all those benefits don't just exist for ourselves, but we offer them and we share them with, remember that we are part of a network of beings, seen and unseen. All the creatures of the air, the waters, the land, all humans, all those who draw breath. We want to share the blessings of our practice with a wish that all beings can know the way things are. All beings can have happiness and the causes of happiness, be more free of suffering and the causes of suffering. Recognize the freedom comes when we open to the way things are, and may all beings never be separated from this vital point of letting go. And a deep wish that all beings can grow in serenity, being less reactive to things, people, situations, near and afar. And a wish that all beings be liberated. Thank you for your presence. Please feel free to unmute and say goodnight to each other. Thank each other. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Everybody, thank you, Howie.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Howie.
Thank you.